Well, hello and welcome to the first in what me and Kev are hoping is going to be an ongoing series of top 10 videos. I know we're conforming to some of the more popular YouTube traits, but hey, we're here to entertain. So, me and Kev have decided to start looking into some different topics with wrestling cards to see what we can do to actually muster up some pretty useful top 10s. So, from this episode, as you've probably seen, this is going to be the top 10 easiest sets to complete. Now, there are going to be a few rules to this, so let's get them out of the way first of all. Now, some of these sets will contain prototypes, autographs, different variants and all that kind of jazz. So for this list, we're keeping it simple and we're keeping it to base sets. Now, there were a lot of these base sets and there weren't too many variants or autographs, so we should be good on that front. Number 2. We're looking at officially released, licensed and trademarked sets. We're not looking at bootlegs, so that wacky wrestling set, we're not looking at that as an example. We're looking at officially licensed, contracted sets that were done from the 90s for the WWF and WCW. Number 3. I'm going to try and give you a bit of a value and a bit of an estimate as to how much it would cost to buy these sets as well, because something that I'm going to factor into this top 10 is an idea that you can go out and buy these. They're not going to be particularly difficult. Some of these sets, however, are going to set you back if you do want to put the money out to buy them. Number 4. To the best of my knowledge, this will be one of the greatest top 10 videos ever on YouTube. No, I'm just playing. Kev's going to do a response to this video and he's actually going to try and do the top 10 hardest sets to complete. So we're going to see what he has next up in the video that he puts out. Alright, let's get going. Coming in at number 10, the WWF Merlin 1993 sticker set. Now, these used to be really hard to find. Then, probably out of some dusty corner of a warehouse, they started to flood the resale market in sealed packs, to the point where now that getting a complete album isn't actually that difficult. Now, it will be a bit pricey, but this is a very fun set to hunt down. If you're not too worried about the enhanced hollows, then it's not so much of a difficult set to complete. The standard flat hollows, that some people refer them to, are quite abundant. There was one in every pack. A loose set of these is going to be somewhere between £150 to £200. A complete album may be cheaper because a lot of people want them to stick in themselves, but if you want to look for a complete album, you're probably looking at around about £100, maybe even half of that. To be honest, I've seen quite a few complete albums go pretty cheap, so they're not too difficult to hunt down. There's lots of them around, go and grab them whilst you can. Number 9. The 1990 Merlin Classics. Now, whoa, I know what you're thinking already. Now, this is an amazing set and it took me ages to complete this set. Well, what if I was to say that actually buying a full one of these isn't actually that difficult? Pricey? Yes. Difficult? No. Now, it is an amazing set with a wonderful roster. My top tip, if you want to complete this set, buy in as fewer bundles as possible, as in get the most amount in those bundles as you can. If you can grab them, go and do it. If not, you'll end up with loads and loads and loads of doubles, which you might be able to resell to recoup some of your money. But if you're buying a full set straight off the top, that's the easiest way to do it. And again, a full set of these is going to be around £100 to £150, £200 if they're in good condition, and I've actually seen them sell for higher as well. This set does fluctuate quite a lot in its prices, but they're not too difficult to get hold of. I do see full sets come up for sale quite a lot. Number 8. The WCW Topps 1992 set. Now, this is one of my favourite sets, and I actually completed it really early on in my journey. Now, I always really liked this set, primarily because it had some of my favourite wrestlers in it, and some funny error cards too, notably the Jimmy Garvin Scott Hall mix-up. Now, it's not a very big set either, which makes it ideal to feature on a list like this, which also adds to the fun of collecting the set. It's got a great roster, great photos, and the card design's really good too. Now, fun fact, the picture of Sting here, which is what Impey used for their Chase Hollow card that was in their set. So side by side, they look really good. Now this set, and again, this is the 1992 top set, it's a cheap set too. A full base set will cost you around about 40, and oddly, most of that cost is for the Scott Hall cards. Now don't sleep on the DDP Rookie either, that is a great card. Number 7, the 1992 Dunkin' Bubblegum stickers. Now, for those that don't particularly collect stickers, you'll probably recognise these from little sweet packets that you used to be able to get from your local shop. Now these just scream nostalgia. It's likely that's where you remember them most from, and sticking them all over your wardrobe and your bed and your walls and things like that. Now there are a few different series of these which are quite difficult to navigate. The first series is by far the most popular and the most memorable, and this is the easiest one to get. For about £30 you can get the full set, and they tend to fly under the radar quite a lot as well. As my advice, put 2 in a sleeve in your folder, otherwise they end up just taking up loads of space. Great set, nice and cheap. Number 6, the 1994 action-packed Topps WWF set. The best card set has now entered the chat, people. So I won't be too biased, but this is the best card set in my opinion. Straight off the top, let's just exclude a few bits here. So we're not talking about the prototypes, as to which there was the Macho Man and the Undertaker. We're not talking about the signed cards, which again, Macho Man and Undertaker as far as I'm aware. And we're also not including the 24 karat gold subset. Now this is slightly confusing because within the base set there are 6 gold cards, but they are standard cards. There is another subset of 24 karat gold cards, and there are the same 6 of those, and you can tell the 24 karat gold ones because on the back they are numbered 1G, 2G, 3G and so on. Now a full set of these will set you back around about 50, maybe up to about £75, and they are increasing in demand. A few sealed packs will probably cost you the same as the full base set, but don't let that deter you. It is a great set and a great investment too. We don't necessarily talk about investing in cards a lot on this channel. If I were to do so, this is the set to invest in. They do go up in value all the time, and I've seen them increase year on year since I've started collecting them. Number 5. The 1992 SummerSlam Gold Series 2. Now there's 2 series of these, there's the black set and the gold set. The black set was released before SummerSlam 92 and the gold set was released afterwards. Do you know how we know that? Because the gold set features pictures from SummerSlam 1992, so there's your logic. Now obviously these were released after the SummerSlam event, which was based in the UK. Now I'm not 100% sure how prevalent these were in the US, as here in the UK they were everywhere. Most of your pocket money had already gone on Series 1, and then all of a sudden, bang, right up in your Sherbet Dib Dab fund, Series 2 gets released. Now the set was great. It featured matches from the pay-per-view and other backstage and promo bits for the event as well, notably Tatanka looking very, very, very happy standing next to some fans. Now a full set of these will be around about the £40 mark, and they are readily available online as we speak. Full sets of these are really, really easy to pick up. Number 4, the 1991 Merlin Blue Border Classics. Now I can hear it now. What about the Undertaker rookie? Well, let's not get too caught up in the belief that this is his actual rookie. However, again, let's ignore some of the variants here. There's a UK release, there's a US release, there's some without the autograph strip. But here we'll be looking at the full base set. Now, it is a big set, and there are some fantastic cards in here. In fact, me and Kev have done videos talking about this set before, and how much I love the set. Full base set is going to cost you around about £50. 20 quid of that is literally going to be on the Undertaker card itself. So that's up to you how much you want to spend on that full set. The Undertaker card will be most of that cost. Number 3, the 1991 WCW In-Pace set. Okay, now this set is great to complete, but it's not a great set. There are loads of pretty useless cards. Teddy Long. Now there are some good cards in this set, but overall not great. The saving grace of this entire set is the Holo Sting we mentioned earlier, but that's not base set, so we're going to ignore it here. If you can get a sealed booster box, you will find you will get at least one full set of cards, maybe two, and a booster box is around about £50. To buy this full set, it's going to be around about £30. So again, it's really, really easy to get these ticked off your list, and they are very readily available. Even if you went the hard way and bought loads of bundles, it still wouldn't cost that much. They printed way more of these cards than any other sets probably combined, so there's plenty to go around. Number 2, the Panini Caps 3 set. Now, I am cheating a little bit here, and I did want to include this set because it is a little bit of a novelty set. So within the WWF Caps packs, you got a few Pogs, caps, whatever you want to call them, milk bottle tops I think they're called in some cases, a slammer, and then a card. Now, there was around about 40, maybe 50 different caps, so you probably would have had to have bought around about 10 packs to complete the set of the Pogs. But inside the pack you got a card, and there was one of 3 cards to complete. Let's say they were a bit clicky. It's an in-joke there for wrestling fans. There was Diesel, Razor Ramon, and Shawn Michaels. That was it. Now, they are great cards to have, and they are dirt cheap as well, and it's really easy to say that you've completed the set because there's only 3 of them. To be honest, for less than £10, you could buy all 3, and they make up 1/3 of your folder strip if you've got a 9-space folder. And there's a full set. Really easy. I know I'm cheating, but it's still a great set. It's a base set. I'll leave it at that. Number 1. So, what has hit our top spot? Now, I would include some notable mentions here. However, I'm going to leave that to you to leave in the comments to sets that you thought were really easy to complete and readily available. And again, I'm trying to consider price here. I know some people don't have 50, 100, 200 pounds to drop on a card set all the time. I don't. So in that sense, I'm trying to make this list as easily available to the everyman or woman as possible. So, number 1, drumroll please. Our final set on the list is the SmackDown 1999 Comic Images set. Now, these were massively overprinted, but the allure of a potential autograph from the likes of Bossman or whoever, whatever the urban legends are, drove lots of people to buy lots and lots of packs. Sealed packs still now are selling for around £8 to £9 each, but a full set is, in comparison, nowhere near that value. Some of the cards are very questionable, and I'll leave for you to decide, if you get the set, which cards you think should have been in there. But as for getting a complete set, there was a time when, for the same price as the Panini 3 set, you could get a full set of these. However, their prices have gone up, not by much, but again, it's a great set to complete, and it is a staple of your wrestling card collection. There are some fantastic cards in there, there are some questionable cards in there. I think the full base set is 72, but what I love about this set, the following year, or later on in that year, decided that the Chromium set was going to get released, which is effectively the base set, just with a embossed hollow pattern on them. And some of the cards in that Chromium set are fantastic. I've featured them on some of the videos that I've done before, such as the Stone Cold and Vince card with the little skulls embedded in it. But that's the Chromium set. The base set, my favourite card, or one of my top 5 favourite cards, is actually in this set, and it's the introduction of Mr. Socko at the hospital with Vince McMahon. A fantastic photo that's taken, an amazingly funny card, but again, the set as a whole, very easy to pick up and very cheap. So there we are. That's the top 10, in my opinion, easiest sets to complete. It's always good to have complete sets if you buy them in a full set or piece by piece. That's just the part of the fun, isn't it? It's part of the hunt. Yeah, I mean, sure, some of the prices here are high for some of the sets, but there are so many individual sellers that you could grab a few a month and still build up your set month on month. However, you do it how you want to do it, enjoy it, and let me know what other sets I've missed out. And until next video, which hopefully will be Kev's top 10 hardest sets to complete, see you soon.